Well, to help us dig a little bit deeper into the political situation in Venezuela, I'm joined by Eric Farnsworth. He is the Vice President of the Council of the Americas. Nicolas Maduro called for a peaceful opening of the assembly. But since the election, he's been very busy trying to do what he can to basically put in some roadblocks here and there, kind of setting the stage for a lot of kind of arguments and fights. How does 2016 look to you?
I think 2016 is going to be a really interesting year in Venezuela. The good news is today the installation of the National Assembly really seemed to go off without violence. There were some isolated incidents, but for the most part it was calm, and the transition of power occurred the way it should have occurred. But having said that, Mike, you alluded to a fact, and I think it's absolutely right. Since the elections of December 6th, the Maduro government has taken a number of steps to reduce the powers of the national legislature, to transfer some of the powers of the legislature to other bodies, to reduce its oversight capabilities of institutions like the central bank. So they are trying to take steps that, even though the legislature itself may have been seated today, nonetheless the impact of that legislative body over the course of the coming years could be reduced.
It's interesting. We were talking about Saudi Arabia and Iran, and you almost see these two parties almost kind of throwing Molotov cocktails at one another. One lawmaker described it as a judicial coup. He said the people elected 112 should be sworn in. Henry Ramos Alup is quoted as saying Maduro should be thinking about the possibility of resigning. With one side taking positions this far over here, the other over here, how does anything get done?
Well, it is really polarized. There's no question about it. And the key issue here is how many legislators have actually been seated. There were 112 opposition legislators elected on December 6th. That number, 112, is critical because that's 2/3 of the national legislature. And with a 2/3 majority, and a group of legislators can do things like change the Constitution, can do things that will impact the length of President Maduro's tenure in office, and a number of other things. What's happened is that the Supreme Court, at the request of the Maduro government, has refused to seat 4 legislators. 3 of them are opposition, and so you only have 109 opposition legislators who were seated today. That's important because without that 2/3 majority, the opposition is much less able to conduct dramatic change in the country over this coming year. So you're going to have a fight over, are they going to seat those actual legislators who were democratically elected on December 9th? December 6th, excuse me, December 6th.
All too often we talk about politics, but the people are the ones who are impacted.
Yep.
We look at the recession going on there. I mean, there's so many, the economy seems to be in shambles. People want solutions. That's why they went and voted the way they did. Are we likely to see any solutions?
Not immediately. And at one level, Venezuela's economy is out of the hands of anybody, and it's in the hands of global energy traders. Venezuela is a petroleum economy. 98% almost of its foreign currency earnings are from the sale of petroleum. So to the extent that the price of a barrel of Venezuelan crude is down from about $115 per barrel at its high to now less than $30 a barrel, that's a dramatic hit, and even an opposition victory isn't going to change that, certainly overnight. But having said that, there are steps that can be taken to free up the economy, to free up the private sector, to reverse some of the property expropriations, to do things on the investment side that have needed to be done for a long time, to increase actually production in the energy sector. So there are a lot of things that can be done. But even with that, and we're at a perfect scenario with the government and the legislature working closely together toward a national goal, it would still be a rough economic year for Venezuela this coming year and into the foreseeable future because of the dependence on energy.
Yeah, and it's going to be even rockier with the political
Absolutely.
situation. Eric, thanks so much. Always great to see you.
Thank you.